An indie horror in the vein of Stranger Things. This could be fun. They Reach is directed by Silas and follows Jessica, a young girl in 1979 who unknowingly unleashes a demonic entity from a possessed reel-to-reel tape player. Said entity then begins to wreak havoc on her family and the town that she lives in. And now it's up to her and her two friends to figure out how to save themselves, their families, and the entire town. If you watch the trailer to this movie, you get major Stranger Things vibes. Hell, even a lot of the posters they put out give out Stranger Things vibes. They even use the same font for the title in a lot of them. Upon seeing that trailer, I was pretty pumped for this movie. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be in the vein of Stranger Things, except less science stuff and more demonic possession. But hey, that sounds pretty cool. I'm down with that. Unfortunately, that is not what we get. While the trailer's not lying about what happens in the movie, it absolutely lies about the vibe and tone of the movie. There's nothing in this movie that has a Stranger Things vibe at all. I mean, besides the fact that there are kids in it that are the main characters, but I don't think that really classifies it as a Stranger Things vibe. It really seems like a marketing thing they came up with after the movie was made. And in now seeing the movie and looking back at the trailer, it seems very disingenuous. Something else it does is greatly reduce the amount of time you see the actors acting in the trailer. And I feel fairly confident that that was a very conscious decision, but more on that in a minute. The movie touts itself as a horror movie, and while yes, I guess it is, it's not scary at all. But that's cool. I mean, a horror movie can still be fun even if it's not scary. But unfortunately, it's not fun either. I will say that the movie starts out fairly solid. You get a fairly good feel for the characters that we do see in the beginning, and nothing really seems too off. There's a family tragedy that our main character and her family are dealing with, and it's handled in a pretty good way. Unfortunately, after about the first 15 to 20 minutes, the movie veers off into cliched and by-the-numbers territory. I mean, this thing gets super cliched. There are horror tropes galore. The whole backing up and it's right behind you off-screen thing, hands grabbing people from off-screen accompanied by loud-ass noises, and jump scares that you see coming from fucking 10 miles away. That, and of course, dumbass characters making dumbass decisions. But even with that being said, if the story was good, interesting, and fun, I could roll with that. I don't mind some tropes. Sometimes I like me some tropes, but it's just not. The story's nothing new. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing that we haven't seen before. But even then, if it's executed well, it could still be fun. But I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. It's not. It's so drawn out. And it's not even that long of a movie, but it seems like it is because it's just boring. There's nothing new here. Nothing that this movie has to contribute at all. I mean, if it was this, but it made good on that whole Stranger Things vibe promise, I could maybe get behind it, and it may have been at least an enjoyable enough time. But seeing as how that was a complete lie, it doesn't even have that going for it. The thing that hurts this movie by far the most, though, is the acting. In the beginning, as things go on, things do seem a little off, but not too bad. But as the movie progresses, much like the story, the acting just gets worse and worse as it goes, until it finally just goes totally off the rails and it's just really bad. I can handle bad acting, but the acting here really stands out from the tone and story they're trying to tell here. There's not really anybody here who's that good. One of the child actors does pretty good, but her character is written so out there and erratic that it pretty much nullifies any performance that she gave, regardless if it was good or bad. And this isn't just like one performance. If it was just one, I could probably handle that, but this is like everybody. They're all just very awkward and stiff and either totally void of emotion or just jacked up to 11 at the wrong times. None of it fits at all, and it is definitely the biggest weight that sinks this movie. It's not all bad though. The movie does have pretty good production values. It's a good looking movie for the most part and does have a really good feel for its time period. None of it seems cheap. It does feel like this takes place in 1979. The few practical effects we get here are pretty good too. However, the CGI effects aren't really that good. They're not like Mortal Kombat Annihilation god awful or anything, but compared to the visual quality of the rest of the production, they do stand out. And even though they are fairly limited, it is enough to take notice. There is some gore in the movie, but not really a whole lot. And while I know gore doesn't necessarily make a movie, if there was some over-the-top levels of crazy insane violence, that may have actually made parts of this movie a bit more entertaining. But nope, not really. I mean, it's there, but like the rest of the movie, it's fairly forgettable. I was really expecting a lot more out of this movie after seeing the excellent trailer. Unfortunately, what I got was a boring, uninspired, poorly acted bore fest. And because of that, They Reach is really only worth checking out on USA Up All Night.
It's not worth it!
Hi, I'm Gilbert Gottfried.
Hi, it's Yolanda on USA Up All Night.
It's so big. It's just not worth it!
I was really looking forward to this movie and hoping that it would at least be a good, fun, streamable movie. But no, it's just a boring mess with some really bad acting, which you can tell they're trying to be good, and that just kinda makes it even worse. Just disappointing overall. So there it is, guys, my review of They Reach. It's kind of a dumbass name once you've seen the movie too. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Clarkston. To illustrate how this movie was pretty much totally out of fucking ideas, near the beginning of the movie, there's some heavy foreshadowing about a potato battery. Yeah, a potato battery. Now, I'm not gonna give anything really that important away, but in the end of the movie, they ultimately end up beating the bad guy with fucking potatoes. They beat an ancient demon with fucking potatoes. This fucking movie. Fucking potatoes.